Do you ever make a colossal error but think, I'll just figure it out as I go? How bad can it be? That's about how I feel right now. The sheer unadulterated cockiness it took for someone with essentially beginner level sewing skills to plan out a project, turn it into two projects, and convince myself that I could get it all done in a week with a toddler, and knowing full well I am way too pregnant to maintain near manic energy levels. Moral of the story, I made multiple mistakes. The first being, I thought I was done with my weaving project, but at the very last moment, I realized that, like every story, a stocking has two sides, which means weaving yardage for my stockings, I need to weave two sides, which I had planned for in my original weaving plans, but my pregnant brain decided to banish that information, and I nearly cut my project off the loom with only half the yardage I need to make this stocking. Blessings that I realized it in advance. Now, however, I am not doing a weaving video because I have to weave another 32 inches, and I do not have the time to do that because I convinced myself that instead I could sew a banner for Easter in a week. Originally, I was making a reusable happy birthday banner so that for each birthday we can have a fun happy birthday banner, but without all the waste of modern party stores. But of course, last minute, I thought Easter is coming up and surely I'll have time to do both. So I made a plan in my head about what I wanted it to look like. I consulted no one about how it would actually look. I just decided it was going to be perfect and I bought all the supplies. Thus begins this week's story, in which I try to find out if I can actually feasibly make this work.
I am weirdly nervous to start this, even though I'm just cutting paper. I just want it to be done right, but I don't really know what I'm doing. Just gotta do it.
I started with cutting out the project guides that I had been working on for the past month or so. At this point, I realized where I might run into some trouble, but I ignored it and just kept pushing forward.
Snack break, because it's been a few hours since I've eaten. A little chewing ASMR. Just kidding. I am not confident enough to put videos of myself chewing on the internet. It can't be that pretty. Anyway, so I have come to the conclusion that I jumped the gun by cutting out all of these pattern pieces before doing a sample, but it's too late now. Most of them is done. So I am concerned, now that I've used the X-Acto knife to get the little holes out, how am I gonna get my pinking shears in there? There's gotta be a way. Someone's done this before, and I'm gonna YouTube it, and we're gonna see. I know other people have done happy birthday banners, and their banners have all included peas. And if that's the case, then but I don't know if anybody else has done it with pinking shears. That was my aesthetic / I don't want to hem everything. So maybe I just don't pinking shear the inside. Maybe I just cut normal. It'll fray a little, but it won't. I'm gonna have to brainstorm and I will get back to you on the decisions I'm gonna make on that one. In the meantime, for those of you watching who don't know me in real life, I have an apple obsession. And it started during my first pregnancy. From first trimester through third trimester, I craved apples every single day. I don't know if my body is trying to tell me something, like herd of nutrition, I don't know, or the little bacteria in my gut are trying to say something to me. Vitamin C, hydration, I'm probably dehydrated. But both pregnancies, I have craved an apple pretty much every day. My first pregnancy was every single day. For my entire pregnancy, I ate an apple, to the point that I go grocery shopping for 2 weeks at a time. And so I would buy 14 apples in one grocery shopping trip. I mean, I would walk out with like gallons of apples. Just a little unsolicited background information. I am going to probably go get baby boy because his nap is running very long, and that concerns me. So I'm probably gonna go get him, and I'm gonna be done for the day, and I am going to do some research on my whole situation.
After cutting out all the pieces, I made a sample piece, which I used actual project material for because my cockiness never ends, and I fully believed my sample would be good enough to just use for the real banner. I started by cutting out the fabric for the banner piece, layering it with quilt batting and a plain white piece for backing. I cut out the letter using my pattern piece, and I sewed it on using a basic zigzag stitch. I am hoping this makes up for the fact that I did not hem a darn thing. Despite a few errors, I liked the way it looked, so while maybe a practice sewer would throw that away and start on the project with a goal to minimize errors, I decided once again to just keep pushing forward. At this point, I realized I could probably cut out a ton of the banner pieces, the batting pieces, and then the backing pieces all in one shot instead of doing each one individually. It probably would be faster, but I liked picking them out single file and curating a color scheme that made sense. I also wanted my little pinking shear triangle shapes to line up between the layers, and cutting them together guaranteed that. I honestly was uncomfortable at this point veering too far off the beaten path, even if it took a bit longer. And here we came to the crux of my problem, established from the planning phase. How was I going to cut out that little hole? I'd ignored it until I reached this point, but there was no ignoring it anymore. I thought maybe my X-Acto would do the trick again, but it wasn't anywhere near sharp enough to cut the fabric, and the fabric kept sliding around. Luckily, the shape is symmetrical, so I traced the hole on the back of the fabric in marker, folded it in half, and cut. It looked rough at first, but with a few adjustments, I think it turned out all right. I just finished cutting out all of the pattern pieces, so I just have to sew them all together. Y'all, it is only Monday, and I actually feel like I might finish this by Easter, which is Sunday. So I'm feeling pretty excited about this. I feel like Flynn Rider at the beginning of Tangled, when he's like, I arrived at castle, and it's only 8 in the morning. Like, I mean, it's 2:20, but it's only Monday, and I actually have done the hard part. I just have to sew it, and the sewing part was the quickest for this guy, so hopefully that shouldn't take too long. I am going to be done for today, partly because I just need to be done for today. But also I want to take some time and leave these out and just kind of let the color patterns sit with me. There are a few that I feel like are maybe not working for me. Like this feels maybe not contrasty enough. Not sold on that one. And then this one, I just don't love it. Maybe I'll like it more when it's actually sewn. Maybe it will make more sense. I don't know. I am just gonna sleep on it and make sure that I really like these pattern choices. And then tomorrow start sewing. We'll see. I spent another day just working and enjoying the process, thinking I might actually have this done by Easter, which I'll admit I took some pride in. I was able to sew 4 of the letters in about an hour, which still left me with some time to rest during Max's nap. After this, things got a lot bumpier. The Lord had other plans, as he tends to, so instead of finishing just one final day of work and hanging this for Easter Sunday, I instead spent all of Easter weekend recovering in the hospital after an unexpected pregnancy complication. Baby girl and I are both safe and healthy as I speak this, which is more important than anything else I could possibly say. I am on a bit of house arrest now. They call it modified bed rest, but basically it's stay home and don't wander. This means weaving is out of the picture for the foreseeable future because it requires too much core strength. But sewing is still considered light activity in my book, so as long as I do short intervals, I should be okay. And I am determined to finish this banner, if not for Easter Sunday, then for Easter season, which gives me until Pentecost. And I did it. It's a week late, but it's still lovely, and it will last for years to come, assuming that I don't look too closely at my sewing and decide I have to redo all of it with greater attention to detail. However, I love that it fills my home with the hope of the Easter season and the joy of having completed something I care about. I'm not sure when I'll be back on YouTube, but I'll post as I can until baby arrives, and then I plan to take plenty of recovery time. Despite the chaos of it all, I am grateful for this video and project for giving me something to enjoy creating while I'm resting. And I am grateful to all of you for coming along with me. Happy Easter, friends. I will see you in the next one.